We showed you how video music is pumping life back into the critically ill record business. Tonight we show you how video helped a local group sell themselves to the nation without ever leaving Lubbock. James Pettis reports how the power of video music gave the Nelsons some power of their own.
I was 3 or 4 years older than these guys were. They were into the whole kind of punk/new wave thing that was going on in the very late 1970s and early 1980s. And it was different music for me, and they played me some of this stuff, and I just loved it. It was just great. It sounded like very unpretentious, but very powerful rock and roll to me. I related to it immediately. And we called the band the Nelsons. Don was so talented and so charismatic. You know, whenever he joined the band, it really kicked us into a whole nother gear.
When you mispronounce my name, it's just fine, 'cause I love you just the same.
So we recorded this video. The technology to do a video on a totally amateur kind of level did not exist in those days. You look at that video now and it looks so old tech, but I'm telling you, these guys, Steve Moss, just, you know, he brought in the best stuff he could lay his hands on.
A friend of mine from Lubbock called me. I was in Dallas at the time doing music videos and on the music scene in Dallas, and he said, I found this band, you need to come in and do a music video. He sent me the song, I Don't Mind, and it was just, this is great. You know, you can see the whole video if you just listen to it. We went to Monterey High School, where we all went to school, or I did, and I went to Mr. Zorn's one summer day and said, Mr. Zorn's, I want to come in here and I want to shoot a music video of the Nelsons. And here's the song, what do you think? Yeah, I think we can do that because school's out. He had no clue. Here comes a grip truck, here comes 60, 70 extras. Later I found out, you know, that they got really, the school board got really mad at Henry Zorns. You know, I mean, I thought I might have got him fired.
I mean, you can stay out all night for all I care, I don't mind.
They sent a tape into something called the MTV Basement Tapes.
The MTV Basement Tapes, where unknowns compete for a major recording contract and a crack at stardom. Who has what it takes to win? You be the judge.
They got picked up and they won, and all of a sudden they're touring the world, and here are these 4 guys from Lubbock, Texas, playing Farm Aid with Willie Nelson and, you know, John Mellencamp, and they made it from Lubbock, Texas, you know, or at least in all of our eyes, you know. I don't know if they would describe it that way.
It was huge. It was a big deal. You know, to almost anybody a little bit, you know, maybe 5 years older than me or 5 years younger than me, the Nelsons were like gods. It was a big deal. I was playing in a band that was really well thought of for a little while called Los Tornados. And one night, all 4 of the Nelsons walked in, all wearing black leather jackets and just looking like, I mean, they were huge. This is after the Basement Tapes. They couldn't have been any bigger. And they're standing there looking at us playing, and we're all flipping out, you know, because we're just this band, and they're the Nelsons. But they stayed and they watched us for a while, and then they all like turned around and walked right out, all at the same time.
We got to do such fun things with that band. I got to play with Jimmy Page. We did a few dates with Billy Idol. We did a couple of dates with Culture Club, playing in, you know, huge venues. We got to play Farm Aid. In the world of what was going on, of the entertainment that was going across the stage at Farm Aid, we probably shouldn't have been there.
I had contacted Willie, and Willie, I said, look, we're from West Texas, the band's from Lubbock, a quarter of the world's cotton comes from here. We want to play Farm Aid. Sure enough, we get a letter back from Willie going, you're on. And at 5 o'clock, the perfect time slot, the Nelsons went on. And it was incredible. You know, it was like, wow, this is unbelievable. 65,000 people watching the band that you know I'm working with, and these guys are killing it.
We got on there and played Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin, and the way that you saw that music light up the first 10 rows, and then watching it go back over all of those people, it's something I'll never forget as long as I live.
At the end of '89, I got a phone call from Kevin Mackey, who was the drummer for the band at the time. And he goes, well, we're looking for a bass player, and and we had thought of you. And I said, well, yeah, I think I could do that. We had an audition, and it was just, the way I remember it is I walked into the rehearsal space, plugged in, and we just started playing like I'd been part of the band. Kevin was so incredibly accurate on the drums that it was just like I was playing with a guy I had been playing with for 20 years or something like that. I remember playing South by Southwest at least twice with the band. And that was back then when it was still possible for things to happen down there. I was there really during kind of the end period of the band, which is kind of sad, but I mean, I guess every band has one.
We played Madame Wong's out in Santa Monica, and we met a really nice young lady with Polygram Records. She liked the band and was getting ready to leave and join Steve Fargnoli, Prince's manager, to form a new record label called Red Dot Records. Fargnoli saw us at South by Southwest, signed us to a $750,000 6-album deal. So we were, okay, we finally made it. Here we go, it's gonna happen now. Steve said, I'm going to London, I've got some business there. When we get back, we'll start the ball rolling. I later found out that Prince was suing Steve Fargnoli for embezzlement, and he never returned from England. It was very, very demoralizing, because we made it, now we don't. We're back to square one. And I think that really slowed the band down. And at that point in time, it was, what are we gonna do? And everybody kind of started doing their own little stuff, and band members were changing. And that, it was just crushing for everyone, I think. It was really, really tough.